Welcome back. So, in the last video, I ended up talking to you all about the connections, about the way things worked out, like if you want to say in a serendipitous manner for me. But it was because I continued to choose me no matter what was happening, right? I told you how I ended up going to the Black Queer Freedom Summit and connected with a content creator that was in there on me, and how from there ended up getting information about the Expat app. Don't forget to sign up for the summit. And then ended up meeting Amber C. Edwards of Overseas with Ease and how I started working with her. So I'm just going to build on top of that, and we're going to move on to like, well, then how did this all really come together through all of those connections? This is how it came together. So as I started working with Amber to get myself together so I could move overseas, the thing that I started to begin with was the question of, what is it that I really wanted, right? So I entered into her course because she is a relocation coach and she is phenomenal at what she does. And within her curriculum, she has us actually going into questions that you typically wouldn't think would be considered or be important when it comes down to moving overseas. You wouldn't think about who you are necessarily. A lot of times you have people asking, okay, so where is it that you want to go? Where is it that you see yourself? You know, what country? Okay, great. Let's just put together the resources. Let's tell you what the cost of living is, and let's get you moved. However, as cool and, typical as that is, that's actually not the best way to figure out where it is that you want to live overseas. This is an issue that I've seen when it comes down to a lot of just like relocation companies, when it comes down to just like people wanting to relocate, but not really understanding where it is that they're trying to go because they're not taking their full personhood into consideration. But because I entered in when I started working with Amber, and I knew, again, who I was, I knew what it was that I was looking for. I came in with an understanding of like, okay, so these are the areas that I want to be in. I'm looking in like the sub-Saharan Africa area, I'm looking at Southeast Asia, and I'm also looking probably say with like in the Caribbean somewhere, right? I really want to be in a black space. My bias is black, y'all, if you didn't know. So I was looking into that, but I also wanted someplace that was also queer friendly. And I wanted someplace that also had like really great medical care. So, and those were all important. Mind you, those were all key, but that wasn't the beginning of where she took me on this journey. So when I started doing her course, she started asking questions like, what does your perfect day look like? And you had to go through it to the point of like, she's asking you to build out the time. Like, what does it look like? Where are you living? Who's around you? What type of space is it? Are you waking up to the sounds of the ocean on a beach? Are you waking up to like bustling city life? Are you living in a high rise? Are you living in the countryside? Like, what are all those things? It was truly a work of imagination. But this work of imagination was for the sake of self, was for the sake of, oh, wow, I truly get to choose how I do want to be. This was a work of iteration. And I don't think a lot of us really take into consideration that when we are going to move overseas, that we are stepping into a time of iterating. We're going to iterate ourselves and what's taking place. We're going to iterate our lives and how it's going to go, especially if you're not moving overseas necessarily for a job. If you are moving overseas because this is what you want, this is a desire that you have. For me, I was moving overseas as well too, as part of my liberation journey. Because I knew, like I said, however many videos ago that I said it, liberation was the thing that was always important to me. And so if liberation for me meant moving overseas, then that's what I was going to do. And this was how my dream was birthed, as well as how it moved forward. So when she started asking these questions, and trust me, some of these questions, they weren't the easiest things to answer, but they were things that made you have to sit back and really consider yourself, really make you understand, who are you? That's really what she was getting at when I started the course, to really understand, who are you? I knew a lot about who I was at that moment in time and who I am even still now. But there were other things that I had not asked the questions of, like, what does my daily look like? What does my daily living look like? If I'm saying I want a better quality of life, well, then what does that actually look like in real life? And you had to map that out. So working with her, I was mapping all of that out on, well, what does my daily life look like? What does my morning look like? What does my afternoon? What am I doing in the evening? Am I meeting up with people? Do I want community as well? Like, what are my interests? What are my interests? What are some of the hobbies I want to get into? Because all of those things she takes into consideration in order to help you figure out where it is that you can move overseas so that it is also key with ease. So that you're not just like jumping into a city and feel that you're like left to your own devices and you don't know what to do next. Unfortunately, with what I've seen with a lot of relocation companies, they don't necessarily ease you into the space of where it is that you're trying to get to. Well, with Amber, it was the complete opposite. She wants to truly ease you into the space of wherever it is that you're going to move into. And so it gave me a moment for pause. And mind you, I do personal development. I love personal development. I've been into personal development forever and a day. I work in my own business doing personal development, doing transformation work. Like this is my zhuzh. This is my area of genius, right? This is the thing that I love. I am super passionate about is to see people be able to transform themselves and become the best version of themselves, whatever that is in this now, to, come to a point where they are learning to embody their full selves and live out of that space. So now I'm being asked to do that, but I'm being asked to do it in a way that I didn't always imagine in all the finer details. And so her asking these details and it being built in within the course was actually a really beautiful journey. It was such a beautiful journey for me because again, I came in with so much. It made it easier for me to answer these questions. It made it easier for me to jog and work my imagination and to even, as I like to tell people, be delusional in your dreams, but please be rooted in your reality. So I got to be delusional in my dreams for me, about what I wanted to do. Not whoever else wanted to do, but no, me as Philette, the resourceful liberator, this Black, queer, disabled, chronically femme, super neuro-spicy. I got to dream of that as well. And so her course did that for me. It did that for me. It led me down this road. And so even the places that I was looking at, she was looking to see what country, number one, matches up with your vibe. And I know it feels weird to say, like, yeah, what matches with your vibe, but no, it's real. What is your vibe? Who are you? How are you moving and grooving? Are you the type of person that likes to wake up, that has like a super early morning routine? Or are you the type of person that, you're a night owl, so you like being up, but you don't want it to be a bustling city because you kind of like the quiet? Or are you the type of person who, like, during the day, I want to meet up with friends and you're going to go have lunch or whatever? All of these questions were coming up, and it was just a great way to exercise dreaming now, like taking this not only dream that I've had, this 16-year-old dream that I've had, but turning it into a practice of like, ooh, I get to dream of how my life really does get to shape up. I get to dream about this thing for real, but I also get to make it practical. So no longer is it just something lofty, but now it is also something that is tangible. Like, let's put some flesh onto this dream, right? You got a skeleton, let's add in the muscles, let's add all the systems, let's put some flesh on this and make it real. And so working with Amber is the thing that did that. It made it real, and she's excellent at what she does. And that course, game changer. And I'm all about connecting with people who are really about connecting with you in the fullness of who you are, connecting with you and not overlooking things, connecting with you and asking those very poignant questions that need to be asked, the questions that make you take pause to be like, I need to think about this. I need to process this. Let me figure some stuff out. I like meeting and connecting with people like that and working with people like that, because what happens for me is that it makes it that much more real. It means that I need to internalize some things. It means that I need to go back into myself and be like, self, what do we really want? Because we're saying liberation, but how does liberation really look like for you in real life, in a tangible, practical manner? What does that look like for you? And so there's some hard questions that needed to be answered. But because she is who she is and she's a great relocation coach, I was able to not only answer these questions, but to process these questions. And we could brainstorm co-create and dream together. And that's what we did. So we were able to dream up what it is that I was looking for. And the funny thing is this, some of the first places that I was looking at as I was doing research, because she also encourages you to do your research. Like, she's there to help you as well, but you also need to do your own research for yourself. So it is true co-creation. So I was doing some research and I was looking up the different places in the different cities. I was looking up, what are the medical systems out here? What is it that I'm looking for? And quickly, because of me doing this research and collaborating with her in this, as she's helping to guide me and as we're co-creating, it was easy to see how many things quickly got ruled out. Very, very quickly got ruled out. But also to see the places that ended up popping up out of nowhere that I wasn't expecting as well. So it was just a beautiful dream. It was a beautiful exercise in dreaming and turning this exercise into a praxis, which became reality. So no longer was it just this lofty idea I had, but there was practicality to it so that it could meet my immediate needs, right? So when I said I wanted about a better quality of life, a better quality of life meant for me medical care, and medical care with people that actually care. Medical care with people that actually understood this chronic illness that I have, so I don't have to go explaining myself or feel like I have to go teaching those that technically should know. I mean, you're a doctor, right? Hopefully you've gotten the training that you needed to get to understand. Okay. So things like that. Also to find the specialist that I needed. Because I have sickle cell, a hematologist is absolutely important. But are there hematologists that know how to deal with sickle cell? It was those things that were coming into play, the types of questions that were also coming up. And for each person, of course, it's going to be a bit different. But for me in my journey, this is what it was. And having someone like Amber made it even that much more greater. Like, it made it better. It made it a lot more easeful because I didn't feel like I had to do all this heavy lifting on my own. Hey everyone, thanks for watching this entire video. If you've enjoyed, if you've been inspired, if you like this type of content, do me one favor. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Oh, and don't forget, there are tons of videos as well too that you can go back and catch up on. And when you subscribe, don't forget to hit that notification bell to let you know when new content drops. So until next time, y'all, peace.